Hey everybody, Tom here with Hidden Beats, and today we are talking with the lovely Chayce Kennedy. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. It's a nice day out, and just, we get to chat with you and learn a little bit more about you today.
Yeah, sounds good.
For those who are new, can you give a little bit of an intro about yourself and kind of what you bring to the table?
Absolutely. So I'm from Penticton, BC. I'm 19 years old, and I grew up in a house with a piano. We always had a piano. So I started playing piano when I was 5 or 6, and then my parents put me into piano lessons. I tinker around, I learned my notes, I learned how to read music, all the basics. And then as I got a bit older, I'd hear my favorite songs and I just would want to sing them. And playing the piano led me into wanting to sing with the piano. Don't really know how that happened, but I have videos on my childhood iPad of me singing and playing. So what I would do is I'd search up my favorite song, find the lyrics and the chords, and then I'd play it. And that's what kind of got me into playing. I went to my first Taylor Swift concert with my mom, her 1989 tour.
Okay.
In, and it was it was incredible. That was the moment that I kind of knew that I wanted to have a career in music or try to make a career in music.
Hmm.
Just the crowd went wild when she walked out on stage and the way she interacted with the audience as if she was like just talking to you. It was
Yeah.
it was a phenomenal experience, very amazing. And ever since then, I've been performing. I trained classically since I was 13 years old. Yeah, I trained classically for 4 or 5 years. And then I made it to provincials a few times to represent Penticton. That was great because it worked on my voice, vocal technique, breathing. And also, I got to do the fun things like musical theater, which was great. Um, so growing up now, getting older, COVID hit. So then
Yeah.
that put a things. But after COVID, that's when everything started opening up again. So that's when I really started performing, which I hadn't really done much performing before. I just kind of like, performed at a piano concert or a vocal concert or at Kiwanis. So that's when I really took performing seriously. And I got last summer many venues. I was performing every week. And then this summer it was even crazier, doing 3 to 4 venues a week. And it was so much fun. I had a house band and we played at a local resort in Penticton, the Penticton Lakeside.
Hmm.
Country music, did that every Sunday. It was so much fun. And my passion grew even more. And recently, I started working on a 5 song EP with Ryan Stewart and Brian West. The first song, Mr. Superfine, is now available on all
Hmm.
streaming. Yeah. And I have the other ones following in the next 5 months. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's a,
A
that's
bit.
a pretty good story about everything.
Yeah. Thank you.
So you I read in the notes you had five singles released, I believe, from 2021 and something like 100 or more live shows. Is that kind of sound true?
Yeah. Yeah. So I did 3 releases with Ryan Stewart, and then I did 2 with Brian West, which was
Okay.
great. Amazing producers to work with. That's why I went back to them because they're so much fun. It's such a comfortable environment. And yeah, I had about 100 live shows this summer and it was great. So much fun. And I feel like the more I performed, the more people saw me, and then the more shows I got from that
Hmm.
because that's over private events, birthday parties, celebrations. So it was really sweet the way that it worked.
Now, your new single, what's the story behind that one? There's got to be something in there that we need to know.
So basically, I'm 19. So like I don't have a lot of experience with love. I've been on some dates. I've had like a boyfriend. I know the feeling of basically I wrote it from the perspective, the feeling when you first meet someone, that click. I mean, when you feel like you click with someone, you don't really know them that well. There's nothing complicated to this situation. It's just meeting, sort of knowing a bit about them, but having that feeling like, oh, I really like this person. Like, do they feel the same way? Like, I really like what's going on here. Like, what's going to
Hmm.
happen? Are we going to continue this? Like, are you feeling the same way? So it's very uncertain, but it's very, what's the word? Just love, young love kind of, you're not really sure, but you want something to happen. So it's very innocent and yeah.
Yeah, and I watched the video before the interview today, and it has a lot of I'd like to say like nostalgic vibes to it of, when you're writing in the book and putting the heart, things like that. There's a lot of little pieces that you can really feel that kind of innocence with the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, how do you think, and I'm always curious about this, being a bit younger in the industry now, how do you think your music and your artistry has evolved from your 2021 releases?
Well, I think I have covered more serious topics. So my 2021 releases, obviously, just hippity yeah, like finding a guy. Oh, I saw that guy one night. Oh, like he's cute, he's pretty great. All my songs were very kind of like surface.
Hmm.
EP coming out, I'm talking about, I have a song about body image. I have a song about mental health. Obviously, I have the fun loving Mr. Superfine. I have a song about, the struggles with love and how it can be complicated and heartbreaking. So it's a lot deeper, I guess, with me growing up and maturing. And I've struggled with anxiety myself. So being able to almost use music to help me get out my thoughts, help me cope with my feelings. It's a way to, I guess, vent in a way. So I thought releasing those songs, deciding to record those songs could perhaps, help someone. No one's feeling alone. Everyone feels these things. Mental health is such a prominent thing. So to answer that question, I just feel like with me maturing, I've decided to focus my music on issues, topics, more serious things, I guess. But it doesn't always have to be serious. That's just for the EP what we chose for this one.
Music's meant to be fun, but also it's meant to touch people in different ways. So it's nice to have a good mix for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So speaking of mental health, how do you stay grounded outside of music to kind of keep yourself centered and make sure you're able to keep going?
I love to run. I feel like exercise outside helps me a lot. I love to hike. I have 3 dogs. I have 2 little rescues from Mexico, and I have a lab. So I love running with them, taking them on hikes. I love boating. I love outdoors things. If I could, I'd be outdoors all the time. If I'm not outside, I'm in my studio. If I'm not in my studio, I'm outside. It's like
Yeah.
the 2 places I'll be.
I find that I'm stuck in my office here pretty much religiously at this point, trying to work on something.
Fair, it's your home.
Yeah, it's where I'm here from 8 in the morning till at least 7 at night usually.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, Hidden Beats itself is national, or I guess international. We're across Canada and the US, so there's a lot of fun things going on here.
That's amazing. Well, good for you. That's very exciting.
Thank you. Now, how do you think, because you're new on the scene compared to some of the older artists, how do you think social media helps and hinders your career?
Well, I think that it can help as you really can reach anyone if you're consistent with social media, if you know how to do it right, I guess. I guess there's no right way, but
On different ways for sure.
taking the time to learn it, taking the time to batch the content, figure out your niche, and be able to post on a consistent posting schedule, I think can really help. And getting the product that people want to see, if you're talented, people want like your song, they want to hear more. Finding a way to network yourself properly. But I also think it can be a challenge because so many people are doing the same thing. So many people are posting 5 to 6 videos a day on TikTok, for say. There's so many talented people out there. You
Hmm.
know, I go blog and it's video after video, voices that are incredible, people's writing skills. Just we're surrounded by people that are insanely talented. So it's hard, but if you find a way to network yourself that's unique and different, I think it can be a benefit for sure having social media.
Has there been any of hardships that you found personally trying to get your stuff out there and get your audience?
I have a struggle with social media. Um I always I've struggled with worrying about what people will think. And as I've grown up, you know, I've learned that you just can't care. You
Hmm.
know, you know that thing, you know, you can't, nothing, you can't wait until something's like perfect because people want to see the authentic you. People
Yeah.
want to see the side. And so I guess it's been a bit of a learning curve because I used to just be like, no, like I can't post that. I can't do that. It's not perfect. And so I think that's held me back a bit. But I've started posting more, posting the more real things. And yeah, but definitely it can be a challenge.
Yeah, being authentic, I find, is what a lot of people are drawn to now. And I do a lot of these interviews, and that seems to be something that resonates through most artists is the idea of being authentic shines over top of anything else, really.
You know, pretty and sexy and this and that. Like it just doesn't work. You
Hmm.
know, the real and the authentic for sure.
No, for sure. Now, I've got a couple fun questions I like to ask, and because you might have a different perspective, I think it'll be interesting. Who are some people that you're listening to right now that people should be listening to more?
Well, I know Tate McRae. I know a lot of people listen to her already. I listen to Tate McRae a lot. She's incredible. She just came out with her new song and I love it.
Hmm.
Um, Jamie Fine. Jamie Fine's great.
Jamie Fine's actually from I'm from Ottawa too, so her and I are actually friends on a couple different levels.
What?
Yeah.
Oh goodness. She's mega talented and her voice, you know, when you hear something of hers, you know it's her. Like
Hmm.
she's distinctive. Lennon Stella,
Okay.
amazing. I used to watch the show Nashville with my family, and she was actually on there with her sister. And ever since then, I followed her and I see her, you know, post her singing videos and mega talented. She has another very distinctive, unique voice.
Hmm.
And well, Tyler Shaw. Tyler Shaw's amazing.
Yeah.
Been listening to his music recently. Um, who else? Let me think. You know, when I'm not asked this question, you know, and then when you're put on the spot to think about it, you're like,
Hmm. Well, the next one will be even better then is what is a song that you're listening to now that people might not expect you're listening to? Like a guilty pleasure song.
oh, okay. So this is really weird. But I listened to this song. I'm not sure if this is how you pronounce it, but it's called Con Moto. And
Okay.
it's like orchestral music. It's like an orchestra. It's like classical music.
Hmm.
Very uplifting and powerful. I find it very inspirational. So I'll listen to it before I do something, like before I go and perform. If I'm just driving in the car and need to get hyped up, it's great. It's very odd because none of my friends listen to anything similar, but I love it.
That's actually I like that. I found a guy in Germany who does kind of ballad orchestral mixes and stuff like that. So I'll have to send you a song on Instagram or something for you to check out. I think you'll like it.
100% yes, I would love that.
Hmm. Though I love that question because it's always interesting just to like I listen to some all over the place things, but like my guilty pleasure song is like super bass from Nicki Minaj. I get a little hyped up with that and I can rap the whole thing too. So it's fun to have that extra.
Totally. I totally get that.
Hmm. Now, who would play you in the movie of your life?
Who would play me like an actor?
Anyone, actor, singer, who do you think would represent you the best?
I feel like Blake Lively.
Okay, I could see that.
So usually I'm blonde. I just actually dyed my hair this color yesterday because I'm like, oh, I want a fall winter change. Usually I'm platinum blonde.
Hmm.
Um, but anyways, people always say Blake Lively and I are very similar. Don't know why. But yeah, I feel like Blake Lively, she's pretty bubbly, and I've watched her in quite a few shows. She's one of my favorite actors. And not knowing her personally, obviously, but seeing her on the screen, seeing her on Instagram over social media, I feel like we we're kind of similar in those ways.
I could see that for sure. Just like meeting you for the first time now and just kind of picturing it, I can see that.
Yeah, cool.
I wonder if she could sing like you though. That'd be interesting.
That would be. Yeah. Maybe like one of her hidden talents. You never know.
For sure. No, that's I like that one. If you had to pick one movie to watch for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Um, Either Soul Surfer, love that. It's very inspirational and
Hmm.
uplifting. Or I've watched, oh my goodness, Soul Surfer or, oh, Taylor Swift's Miss Americana documentary.
I actually haven't seen that yet.
I've watched that like 25 times.
Okay.
Very inspirational. So definitely that or Soul Surfer.
I'll make sure to check out the doc. I have too many things to see all the documentaries sometimes. So
Yeah, fair.
I I think my favorite or the one that I would watch forever for myself would be Mr. Holland's Opus. It's an older movie
Hmm.
and it's all about like a music teacher trying to just get through life, and he has a deaf son and he's trying to teach him classical music, things like that. It's a very kind of motivational movie about hard work and things like that, and it's just a really powerful one.
Wow, that sounds very heartfelt. What's that called again?
Mr. Holland's Opus.
Mr. Holland's Opus. Okay, I'll have to watch that if I remember it. Mr. Holland's Opus.
It's definitely one. It's for someone in the music field. It's definitely interesting to see some of those other sides of things that they have in there as a school teacher.
That's really sweet. Well, I'll check that out, Mr. Holland's Opus.
Hmm. Now, this one's an interesting one and probably my favorite question I ever ask anyone. What is one thing you think should be asked more in an interview scenario that's not asked enough?
Um, Something that's not asked in an interview.
Now, I add to this sometimes of maybe it's something that you want to hear more, like if you're watching an interview or you think would be interesting for other people to hear, just something that you don't hear enough of.
Maybe asking someone why they do music,
Okay.
why
That's
they chose music, why they do music. Yeah.
that's actually my final question is what motivates you to keep walking
Oh,
down this musical road?
um, well, I feel like performing, the main reason I do it is because I love it,
Mhm.
obviously. Something I can be in my studio for multiple hours a day and never get sick of it. Writing, it's a passion and something I never think I'm going to grow out of because it's in me. Music's in my soul. But seeing the way the audience reacts to an original song or a cover when you play it. Like I played this show in Summerland Waterfront Resort. I played there a few nights in the row in the summer. And between my sets, there was this group of little girls and they came up to me and they're asking to sing with me and they're asking me about myself, being like, oh my goodness, I love your music so much. And just seeing the way something that I'm doing, lights up their eyes and lights up their face and inspires them, it it's very powerful thing, and it's inspirational almost to me because I want to influence people in a good way, whether to help them through their struggles, whether that's through, writing about mental health or body image, being like, hey, like I feel the same way here. I get it,
Mhm.
or seeing the little girls love it, or really anyone and be inspired to follow their dreams.
And that's what you hope they take away from your music is those type of feelings.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Hmm. Now, what in what advice might you give to an up and coming artist that you've learned so far in your journey?
Definitely success or, you know, music, it's not a short-term thing. You can't just expect, oh, I'm going to release this song and get a million streams.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely something to work towards, growing your following, making better music, writing better, learning social media. It's a journey, so not to expect something right away. I think good things take time. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. So we have the single just dropped, and we have the EP coming out. Is there a release date for that at all, or
Not set in stone yet. The next single's going to be around January,
okay?
early. Yeah.
And where can people find you on social media to follow your musical journey?
TikTok. I post a lot on Instagram, mainly TikTok and Instagram.
Okay, we'll make sure to link those in the end of the video here. Is there any final words of wisdom that you want to leave to fans new and old?
No, I just thank you so much for doing this interview with me and taking some time to chat. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
really.
Yeah, it was definitely great getting to know you, getting to learn more about what makes you tick as a musician. I'm excited to see how you progress and what happens in the future for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, we'll sign off now, but I hope we get to have another conversation at some point because these are always fun and I like to catch up with old friends now.
Totally. No, that sounds great. That sounds really great.
Okay, well, you enjoy your day and we'll stay in touch.
Thank you. You too.